This is Module 6, Lesson 10. Read the objective out loud while I read it. I can compare the lines and patterns generated by addition and multiplication rules. So I can compare the lines. All right, we're going to start with our fluency practice. We're going to start out by counting by equivalent fractions. Go ahead, let's count by thirds from 0 thirds to 9 thirds. So let's count. 0 thirds, 1 third, 2 thirds, 3 thirds, 4 thirds, 5 thirds, 6 thirds, 7 thirds, 8 thirds, 9 thirds. 1 is the same as how many thirds? Now let's count. And let's change the fractions that would turn into a whole number. Let's count that as a whole number. 0 thirds, 1 third, 2 thirds, 1, 4 thirds, 5 thirds, 2, 7 thirds, 8 thirds, 3. How'd you do? So 1 is the same as how many thirds? Well, 3 thirds, right? 2 is the same as how many thirds? 2 is how many thirds? 6 thirds. 3 is the same as how many thirds? 9 thirds. Now, what I want you to do next is I want you to, 4 thirds is what mixed number? So 5 thirds is what mixed number, 7 thirds is what mixed number, and 8 thirds is what mixed number. Go ahead and write those out and check back with me. Check your work. All right. So for 4 thirds is 1 1/3. 5 thirds is 1 2/3. 8 thirds is 2 1/3. 7 thirds is 2 1/3. And 8 thirds is 2 2/3. So now let's go back and let's count backward. Starting at 3. Well, let's start at 9. Let's start at 9 thirds. 9 thirds, 8 thirds, 7 thirds, 6 thirds, 5 thirds, 4 thirds, 3 thirds, 2 thirds, 1 thirds, 0 thirds. Let's count back using our whole numbers. 3, 8 thirds, 7 thirds, 2, 5 thirds, 4 thirds, 1, 2 thirds, 1 third, 0 thirds. All right. Excellent job. Great review of our fractions. Let's now move on to the next part of our fluency practice, which is rounding to the nearest 1. So I want you to go through. I want you to complete round to the nearest ones. Come back and check your answers. All right, let's check our work. So 3.2 rounds to 3 to the nearest 1. 3.7 rounds to 4. 13.7 rounds to 14. 5.4 rounds to 5. 25.4 rounds to 25. 1.5 rounds to 2. 21.5 rounds to 22. 6.48 rounds to 6. Actually, 8 would round that to 5. 5 would round that to 7. I think I'm going to change my answer to 7. 3.62 rounds to 4. 36.52 rounds to 37. 75.23 is rounds to 75. And 16.7 rounds to 17. All right. Now we are going to add and subtract decimals. Do your best and come back and check your work. Remember, make a mess. Right? I want to see your beautiful brain all over that page. All right, let's check our work. So if you've made a mistake, go back and figure out where you made your mistake. So 4.812, 3.712, 2.784, 5.012, 8.42, 2.812, 3.912, 2.744, 5.018, 8.432. All right. So if you made a mistake, go back and figure out where you made your mistake and fix it. The last part of our fluency practice is our application problem. A 12-man relay team, so a team made up of 12 people, runs a 45-kilometer race. Each member of the team runs an equal distance. So we have to divide up 45 into 12. We have to break up 12 people into that 45-kilometer race. Number one, how many kilometers does each team member run? One lap around the track is 0.75 kilometers. So it's just under a full kilometer. So it's not one full kilometer, it's 0.75 of a kilometer. How many laps does each team member run during the race? All right, try it out and come back to check. Okay, so I drew a little visual up here. Here is 45 kilometers and divided equally by 12 people. So you could write it 45 over 12 or 45 divided by 12, which ends up giving us 3 and 9/12. So this is where reducing comes in. This is why this has been such an important piece since we've been working on fractions. So 3 and 9/12 really becomes 3 and 3/4. And we know that 3/4 is equal to 0.75 because 3/4 of $1 is 75 cents. And 3.75 so this is the answer. 3 3/4 of a kilometer is the answer to question 1. Each person ran 3 3/4 kilometers. That right here is the answer here. Now, we know that 3/4 is equal to 0.75. So 3.75, one lap around the track is 0.75 kilometers. How many laps does each team member run during the race? So if you remember our application problem yesterday, where we multiplied, we did this to get rid of our decimals, then we divided, and simply by dividing 75 into 375, you get 5. So each person ran 5 laps. If this gave you trouble, go back and rework it one more time so that you understand the steps that I took in order to get the answers. All right, this is the end of our fluency for Module 6, Lesson 10. We're going to come back and do the concept development. When you come back, you need to have your Lesson 10 template, and it looks like this. It should be the front page of your problem set packet. So get that out and come on back for the next part of the video.